Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs of 15th of May. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app, and here you can get the current affairs in text format. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. This is the name of Telegram channel, GKToday YouTube, and this is the link. The link of GKToday Academy app as well as the link of Telegram channel is given in the description box. Now we have started a new channel, Civils Academy. So if you find it relevant, please subscribe to it. Now let's start the quiz. As per the India State Level Disease Burden Initiative, what is the cause of 68% of under 5 death in our country? That means the death of children who are below the age of 5 years. So the main reason is child and maternal malnutrition. So malnutrition is the main reason behind the death of more than 68% of children below the age of 5. And this report has the first comprehensive estimates of district level trends of child mortality in our country since 2000. And this was published in a report by Lancet, and the title of that report is India State Level Disease Burden Initiative. The TVS Group and Sundram Medical Foundation collaborated with which institution to develop a respiratory device called Sundram Ventago? So, for this purpose, IIT Madras, TVS Group and Sundram Medical Foundation collaborated, and this is an affordable and automated respiratory assist device called the Sundram Ventago. The National Public Health Institute of which country has committed $3.6 million to assist India in its fight against COVID-19. So recently, CDC, that is Center for Disease Control and Prevention of USA, has announced this $3.6 million to assist India in fight against this COVID-19. However, there is one issue with this funding. This CDC of USA is under the watch list of Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, what is the meaning of being under watch list? It means that CDC cannot fund any institution in our country, be it public or private, without the approval from Ministry of Home Affairs. I have already explained this issue in our The Hindu News Analysis video. Now, coming back to the CDC. So, usually the institutions and NGO which receive foreign funding, they need to register under FCRA. What is FCRA? It is Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Now coming back to USA. So recently USA was in news as it announced its decision to stop funding of WHO. USA was also in news as recently US President nominated Ashok Michael Pinto as the US representative to IBRD. Answer in comment box what is the full form of IBRD. Apart from that, recently Indo-American diplomat Manisha Singh was appointed as the USA's envoy to OECD. What is OECD? It is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and the headquarters of OECD is in France. In fact, the secretariat of FATF is also in the headquarters of OECD, and OECD conduct PISA. PISA is Program for International Student Assessment, and India is going to take part in 2021 PISA after a gap of 12 years. Indian Council for Cultural Relations, which was in news recently, is an organization under which Union Ministry. So this ICCR is under MEA. What is MEA? It is Ministry of External Affairs, and the main objective of this organization is to build cultural relationship with other countries. Now, why it was in news recently? It was in news because recently it released a song titled United We Fight. So the song was released by ICCR, that is Indian Council for Cultural Relations. And why this song was released? This was released to instill the sense of hope against this COVID-19. Present Minister of External Affairs is Mr. S. Jaishankar, and he is member of Rajya Sabha from Gujarat. Now recently Gujarat was in news as High Court of Gujarat declared the election at one seat as invalid. Answer in comment box for which constituency of Gujarat this election was declared invalid by the High Court of Gujarat. What is the quantum of the special economic package Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan announced by the Government of India? Now, Atmanirbhar means self-reliance. So recently, Prime Minister announced this package and this is worth rupee 20 lakh crores. Now, the main focus is on self-reliance and Prime Minister mentioned 5 pillars of self-reliance. These are economy, infrastructure, system, demography and demand. And this 20 lakh crore package is worth the 10% of GDP. Now, it is a part of fiscal stimulus. What is fiscal stimulus? If government is taking any step to boost the economy, it is fiscal stimulus. If central bank is taking the step, then it is monetary stimulus. Now, one of the major criticism of this step is that this 20 lakh crores also includes the announcements by RBI. That means these are the parts of monetary stimulus. However, they are being considered as a part of fiscal stimulus also. So this is one of the major criticism of this decision. And nowhere in the world it is considered as a part of fiscal stimulus. Which official index of India recently declined sharply to 16.5% in the month of March 2020? So the index is IIP, that is Index of Industrial Production, and it is published by CSO. What is CSO? It is Central Statistical Organization and it is under MOSPI. What is MOSPI? It is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now this sudden downfall in IIP is because of the lockdown. Answer in comment box which organization published WPI, that is Wholesale Price Index. What is the venue of FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup that has been rescheduled for February-March 2021? So because of this pandemic, this FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup has been rescheduled and originally it was planned to be held across the 5 cities of India. So right answer is India, and this was supposed to be in Navi Mumbai, Guwahati, Ahmedabad, Kolkata and Bhubaneswar, and this is going to be the FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup. Now recently Ahmedabad was in news as it made it mandatory to ensure digital transaction for home delivery. That means the Gujarat government made it mandatory that you need to pay through digital modes for home delivery in Ahmedabad. Now why this was done? This was done to prevent any kind of contact so that the virus transmission can be stopped. Who is the head of 6-member committee formed by the Sports Authority of India to draft procedures for resuming training after lockdown? So recently SAI, that is Sports Authority of India, formed a 6-member committee to prepare a SOP, that is Standard Operating Procedure, for resuming the training of sports persons after the lockdown. And for this purpose, this 6-member committee will be headed by Mr. Rohit Bharadwaj, and then these recommendations will be sent to Sports Ministry for approval. National Aerospace Laboratories, that has developed Swasth Vayu ventilator, is an aerospace laboratory of which organization? So this NAL is the Aerospace Laboratory of CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. The president of CSIR is Prime Minister. That means whosoever is going to be the Prime Minister of India, by virtue of being the Prime Minister, he or she will be the president of CSIR. Now coming back to this NAL, so this NAL has developed this Swasth Vayu ventilator. Now recently one more ventilator was in news. It is Vital. Answer in comment box which organization developed this Vital ventilator. New Development Bank, which was previously BRICS Development Bank, provided 1 billion loan to India recently. Now the question is, where is the headquarters of this bank? So it is in Shanghai, and recently it was in news because of this $1 billion loan to India. This new development bank was established by the BRICS countries. What is BRICS? It is Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. The headquarters of New Development Bank is in Shanghai in China, and it is headed by Mr. K.V. Kamath. He is from India. Now recently BRICS was in news as the foreign ministers meeting of BRICS held in the context of COVID-19, and this meeting was organized through video conferencing, and it was under the presidency of Russia. Now Russia was also in news as it is going to be the host of SCO Summit. What is the SCO? It is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The headquarters of SCO is in Beijing in China, and Indian Minister of External Affairs Mr. S. Jaishankar participated in this SCO meeting of foreign ministers, while the SCO Summit is going to be in St. Petersburg in Russia. It is important to note that India and Pakistan became the full-fledged member of SCO after Astana Summit in 2017. Now, in the context of SCO, there is RATS. Answer in comment box, what is this RATS? Telia Rumal handloom cloth, which received GI tag recently, is associated to which state of India? So, it is associated to Telangana, and recently it got GI tag. Apart from it, recently Jharkhand Sohrai Khowar painting also got GI tag, and this is popular in the Hazaribagh district of Jharkhand. And this painting is a traditional art that is done by the tribal women with locally available soils of different colors. And the Telia Rumal handloom work is done on the cotton cloth. What is GI? It is geographical indication. Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir have committed to provide tap connections to the people by 2022 under which scheme? So, under Jal Jeevan Mission, Haryana and Jammu Kashmir have committed to provide tap connections to the people by 2022. And this Jal Jeevan Mission is an initiative of Ministry of Jal Shakti. Now there is one more initiative of Ministry of Jal Shakti which was in news recently, and it is Atal Bhujal Yojana, and this was launched on the occasion of birth anniversary of India's former Prime Minister Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Now for this Atal Bhujal Yojana, World Bank and central government are going to provide a financial support in the ratio of 50-50, and this scheme is related to the conservation of groundwater. Which state government is set to bring 3 ordinances for strengthening the agricultural economy of the state? So, Odisha government is going to bring 3 ordinances to strengthen the agricultural economy of state. Now, if we talk about ordinance, Article 123 of Indian Constitution contains the provisions of powers of President to issue ordinance, while Article 213 contains the provisions of ordinance powers of governors. The Chief Minister of Odisha is Mr. Naveen Patnaik, and recently he was honored by PETA. What is PETA? It is People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. Odisha was also in news as it was the host of first ever Khelo India University Games. As per the recent analysis of World Economic Forum, the CO2 emissions of which country have dropped for the first time after 40 years. So as per the analysis of WEF, the CO2 emissions of India have dropped for the first time after 40 years. And obviously this was because of the lockdown. Now WEF was also in news as WEF recently published World Gender Gap Index, and as per this index, India is on 112nd position, and this index is based on 4 parameters. Answer in comment box, out of these 4 parameters, in which parameter India is the worst performer? Which bureaucrat has been appointed as the new chief of ASI? ASI stands for Archaeological Survey of India. So recently V. Vidyavati has been appointed as the new DG of ASI. Usha Sharma was the previous Director General of ASI. The headquarters of ASI is in New Delhi. Now answer in comment box, this ASI is under which Ministry of India? So apart from V. Vidyavati, recently Manoj Ahuja was appointed as the new head of CBSE, that is Central Board of Secondary Education. In addition to him, recently boxer Akhil Kumar was in news as he was re-inducted into the disciplinary panel of NADA. What is NADA? It is National Anti-Doping Agency, and recently NADA appointed Sunil Sethi as the brand ambassador. In addition to him, recently Giridhar Armane took charge as the secretary of MORTH, that is Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So these were the most important questions of today's quiz. Now we are going to cover the important news. First news is related to this Vocal for Local initiative. So this was announced by the Prime Minister. That means we need to put more focus on the products which we manufacture in our country itself. And for this purpose, KVIC is going to implement this Vocal for Local initiative. What is KVIC? It is Khadi and Village Industries Commission, and it is under Ministry of MSME. It is a statutory body. Next news is related to Global Nutrition Report. So recently this report was released by WHO, that is World Health Organization. Next one is related to Taiwan. I have already explained the issue between China and Taiwan in the video of the Hindu analysis. Now, recently India attended the 7 Nations meeting, and this meeting was started by USA. Why this meeting was organized? This meeting was organized to gain support from the participating nations to include or to make Taiwan an observer at the WHO, that is World Health Organization. And recently US Senate, that means the upper house of US Parliament, passed an act directing the Secretary of State to frame a strategy to make Taiwan an observer of WHO. This entire issue has been explained in detail in the Hindu analysis video. So India was one of those 7 countries which took part in this meeting. The rest of the countries are Australia, Brazil, Japan, Israel and South Korea. Next news is related to Global Forest Resources Assessment, and this report was recently released by FAO. What is FAO? It is Food and Agriculture Organization. The headquarters is in Rome. Rome is in Italy. Next is related to ICMR, that is Indian Council for Medical Research, and ICMR is going to participate in the Global Solidarity Trial of WHO. ICMR is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Next one is related to Ayurveda, as CSIR and Ayush Ministry started the clinical trial of 4 Ayurveda drugs. Next is related to World Economic Forum, that is WEF, and recently it released Global Energy Transition Index, and as per this index, India is on 74th position, while this index was topped by Sweden. Next is related to IISc Bengaluru, as recently it has developed a low-cost device to detect the presence of melamine in the milk and in the dairy products. Now, this melamine is the key indicator to find out that the milk is adulterated or not. That means something has been mixed in milk or not. So this is a low-cost device developed by IISc, that is Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. Next one is related to TOD initiative. So this is a proposal by Indian Army. What is TOD? It is Tour of Duty. And as per this proposal, the civilians would be able to join Indian Army for 3 years. So this is going to be a 3-year short service which is being proposed by Indian Army. The issue has already been discussed in detail in the Hindu video. Next one is related to Uttarakhand. So recently Uttarakhand Chief Minister launched Hope Portal to help unemployed youth. What is Hope? Hope stands for helping out people everywhere. So this one is for unemployed youth. Next one is related to CFTRI. What is CFTRI? It is Central Food Technological Research Institute and it is in Mysuru. Now why this institute was in news? It was in news because recently it developed spirulina groundnut chickpea. And what is so special about it? The special thing about it is that it can help in boosting the immunity. So this can be quite helpful in this time of COVID-19. Next one is related to Italy, as recently Italian Institute of Technology developed I Feel You bracelets for social distancing. So this bracelet will help users to respect the social distancing rules. So these were the most important news. Now one more thing, that if you find this news section too much complicated, then you can skip this section and just watch the quiz. So thank you for your time. That's all for the day.